Hello. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. Just hang tight and we'll be live shortly. As you can see with the timer, that is when I'll be live. I'm just setting up the text-to-speech right now and loading into Minecraft. To those just hopping in, welcome! If you're new here, please like, subscribe if you enjoy. If you are not new here and you've been on my live streams before, welcome back. We'll be live shortly. I just need to set a thing up. Of course, the moment I start streaming, OBS starts making my PC start eating poop. Okay. This sucks. Oh, it's loading. Let's see here. Man, my nose is extra stuffy because I basically just woke up. I woke up like an hour ago. Alright, I'm gonna connect the text-to-speech now. Welcome to live, everyone. I'm surprised Minecraft is still loading in. It usually doesn't take this long. There we go. Oh, my entire screen went black. Okay, there we go. Alright, welcome to the live stream, everyone. Welcome, welcome. You might see a black screen for a few seconds. If you're not, that's fantastic. Let's see here. Feel free to comment. I have the text-to-speech set up, so I'll never miss your message. And, yeah, welcome to the stream. Last night, or not last night, but yesterday we left off at a pretty bad situation. I had like low hunger. I got some fish and started to cook it and ended the live stream. I added like 2 extra mods, which is a mod to help with my mouse, and also to see some extra like UI. stuff on my hunger bar and hearts. I will lag a little bit when I first join the game, but hello, welcome to the live stream. How's your day going? I hope it's doing well. There might be a slight delay, so beware of that. I can only stream for an hour and 45 minutes, it seems, due to my short API quota. But I'll try my best to make the most of it. I am lagging so much. Wow. What did we need to do? I mean, I get that we needed food, so yeah. Oh yeah, we also need to finish planting these. No, it's already planted. Well, I guess we can wait for that to grow. And while we do that, we can go hunting for some food. Nope, not in that. Oof, the lag is crazy. Hang on, I'm gonna let the cat into my room. Get in. Okay, I'm back. I don't know if you guys can hear the game, so let me quickly check that. No, you cannot. Let me fix that. Oh, well, yeah, you can. Wait. No, you can't. Okay. There, fixed. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. Welcome, welcome. How's everyone's day going? I need to get some food pretty badly. Good thing there's a lot of chickens around. God. My nose. My frame rate is so bad. I'm playing with terrible frame rate right now. It's so bad. I wonder if my recurring viewers will return today. They might. I usually have them this time. So we'll see. Hopefully my frame rate clears up soon, because this is bad. Let me check something. Let's do that, I guess, even though clouds are off. And that, for some reason, seemed to relatively fix the lag. Never mind, no it didn't. Okay. Well, we've got like 8 chickens worth of food. So that's good. I didn't really think that went through. I'm kind of stuck here. Let me think about this. I have an idea. I don't know if it will work though. Okay, that did not work at all. Okay. I might just have to do something impossible. Okay, yeah, that's not gonna work. Alright, I'm gonna have to break this by hand. Oh, it's surprisingly not that hard. Okay. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome. Okay. Let's cook this food, and then we'll think about what to do next. Because I have pretty much no clue what to do. We also need to figure out a name for the chicken inside of our inside of our base. We haven't decided a name for him. And they're starting to reproduce. So we need to name them quick before we can't. We need diamonds so bad. We can't just live with iron armor our whole lives. We gotta get diamonds and go to the nether. However, we need sand. And I feel the best way to get sand is through this place here. 'Cause I want to make a giant glass bridge across the cave beside here. I'm deeply sorry. I have no clue what you just said. Let me take a second and see if I can translate that. Let's see here.
At Knifedickensly passes, smiling face with smiling eyes.
Okay. That apparently means Salam Alaikum in English. I have no clue what that's supposed to mean. But welcome to the live stream, regardless. This live stream's not doing as good as yesterday. Unfortunate. I don't know what I did differently. I have no clue. It was just doing really good. But it's whatever. By God, my nose. I need to like properly blow my nose. I just can't. But yeah, I need to make a shovel. I'm gonna make a shovel, get a ton of sand, and smelt it to make that glass bridge. Thankfully, I only need 1 iron for a shovel. Where are all my viewers? Where are my comments? This is so weird. Yesterday, I was flowing in comments, flowing in subscribers and likes, and now it's nothing. I have no clue what I did differently that day. But clearly, whatever it was, it worked. Well, a few stacks is a start. However, this does look ugly as hell. We're gonna have to find a way to fix that. One day. Why does that look different? Is it because of the lighting thing? Whatever. Wow, my frame rate is just not okay right now. One glass out of many. I need to make a blast furnace. Let's do that actually. Let's make a blast furnace. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna smelt this like 2 times. And then we can make a blast furnace. What does it take for a blast furnace anyway? Oh, that's not good. Accidentally pressed caps. I don't know why the blast furnace is such a specific crafting recipe. I need iron. That should be enough. Oh yeah, and I need a furnace. Yay! Okay. Let's do this. Oh my god. My frame rate! I don't know, do I? I feel like I just wasted smelting time. Whatever. I don't know, that just feels weird to me. Whatever. Are you kidding me? I made this for no reason. You can't even smelt sand in there. So annoying. Well, at least I can smelt ore better. That's a win, I guess. Look how much quicker that is. This is slow as hell though. I need to make multiple. Okay, let's do this. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Well, I could do 8, which is what I originally wanted to do. So I'm gonna. Let's see here. This should work. This should be satisfying. There we go. Now we just do the same thing here. Perfect. kind of forget about the music. Perfect. That should save us some time. Alright, let's get to crafting. Let's see here. I think that's good. Why is it 3? That's weird. Oof. Yeah, that wasn't quite what I was at, but it's fine. Okay. Now we just mine this. And figure out what we want to do from here. I think it's a no-brainer that I want to do a small tunnel, right? And then do it again here. Whoa. Yeah, that's yeah, I'm not gonna do that again there. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a that's a steep drop. That's about a stack. Yeah. Good start, a good start. Let's make another pickaxe. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, did that land on the torch? Can't tell. I think it did. Crazy luck. Alright. Let's get to building. This is gonna look so cool. I've never done something like this in Minecraft before. If you haven't already, guys, be sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this. It does help me out a lot. I'm on a goal to 250 subscribers to beat my mom in subscribers. So reaching that goal would be insane. Oh my god, my lag. Ah! Okay, not a terrible start. Why am I lagging so much? So weird. Oh my god. Alright, now let's do the same for this. Did I just do that? Okay. Let's continue building. Already this looks scary, to be honest. Hello, Elizabeth. Hi. Why is it not reading out your messages? One second. Let me check the website. Something's not quite right here.
At Elizabeth
Oh
5611
yeah, the moment I go to check it, it starts
says,
saying it.
hi.
Something is going on with my entire PC, actually. That might be why. What is running? What is that?
At
Oh,
Elizabeth
that's my friend.
5611
Oof.
says, wow.
What is happening with my
At Elizabeth
computer?
5611 says, that's cool.
Let's see if I can clear up this lag. I have no clue what's going on here.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, LOL.
It's so choppy. Oh, my computer is having a stroke right now.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, OMG, it's catching up now LOL.
Okay, I think it's gonna be okay now. I don't know. All I know is my PC is just moving as slow as a snail right now. And I have no real answer as to why. I have an idea as to why. See here. Before, it was acting fine. Everything was okay. And now it's just not. Oh my lord. What is going on here? Alright, try saying something. Oh my god, now my screen's black. Okay. There we go. Alright, I saw your message, but it's not saying it. Why? I guess, like, why didn't it read your message out loud? Why? Let me do this. Let's do this. It's just refusing to catch up. Let me refresh the screen. Connect it again. What? Oh my god, I have to paste this stupid URL again. Connect. There we go.
System
Ooh.
says, connected to YouTube, live chat.
There we go. It feels like being quiet today. For real. It's tired from saying all your messages yesterday. Which, speaking of yesterday, today's stream just does not seem to be going as well as yesterday's. That's okay though. Oops. Did not mean to do that. I tried doing this, thinking I was in Bedrock for a second.
At Elizabeth5611 says, yeah, yesterday was crazy.
Yeah, yesterday was a huge milestone, actually. I have no clue why it blew up like that, but I'm kind of upset that I didn't again. But it's okay. Oh my god. 1 second, I gotta blow my nose. Oh my god, that's so much better. Alright, back to it. So, right now, I'm building a giant tunnel from my base across here in glass so that, I can get past it, as well as,
At
just for looks.
Elizabeth5611 says, bless you.
Thank you. It's catching up now.
At Elizabeth5611 says, oh, that's cool.
What's cool? The bridge? Yeah, it is. I think it is, at least. I still have to do the walls and stuff, but for now, that looks really cool. I added a few more updates to my website and changed the splash text at the bottom of it. There's something a bit more funny. Ooh. So that might be why. Because every now and then, when you make an update to something, it just kind of breaks it. Crazy timing. Had to break a glass when I said that. This is gonna be interesting. Is it more like that? Okay. We could use these things as little support beams. Okay. Tunnel, 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 tunnel. There. What's going on with that block? Oh, I got a lot more glass than I thought I did. Okay. Bruh. Every stream, the audio gets buggy. I need to find out what's causing that. Oh my god, the lag. That's what's causing me to place it on top. It thinks I'm clicking twice when I'm clicking once. I got PTSD from Purebred, bro, I swear. I'm pretty upbeat with the music. Alright, well, we need to smelt more sand. So, it's time to make a shovel again. This will be a good way to see. Hang on. Hi, I was on the live yesterday. Why is it not reading out your messages?
At Elizabeth5611 says, you can make a big thing so you can walk around it. At Elizabeth5611 says, oh never mind. At GhostKittyZ6K says, hi. At GhostKittyZ6K says, I was on the live yesterday.
For some reason, I have to like get on the website for it to start reading your messages. Hang on, I have an idea. I'm gonna disconnect it, host it on my own computer because I have the file, the source code of it on my computer, so I can just host it on my computer. And that must fix it. Nope, not that one. Not that version. This version. There. I agree to the terms. To my own website. Oh my lord, my PC is moving so slow. Alright, it's connected.
System says, connected to YouTube live chat.
Alright, let me read all of your messages here. Oh, that's cool. You can make a big thing so you can walk around it. Oh, never mind. Hi, I was on the live yesterday. Oh my god, it wants to be introverted today. Why? So, by the way, Ghost Kitty, it drops messages under one character. To just prevent people from spamming one character over and over. So you're gonna have to say, like, why the actual word. But what do you mean? What do you mean, why? Like, let me test it. Oh, I guess that will test it.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, oh.
Yeah, it seems to work when I host it on my own computer. That's super weird. I need to find a way to fix that. I wanted to see if it just works out on the website and not my computer. Because the past while I've been doing it on my computer. But it seems that just doesn't work as intended when you do it like that. I'll have to fix that. Also, you guys might hear my ring light fan. Because my ring light is a fan. So I could use it to cool me off. But I don't know if it's loud enough for you guys to hear it. We need to name our chicken. I can't remember if we named it, yes.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, how much subscribe do you have?
I have no clue. Let me check real quick. I have 199. One more before 200. And then we're on the path to 250, which is my goal.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, OMG 1 away from 200. At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, you sick face vomiting.
No, I'm not. I'm not sick. It's just I always have a runny nose when I wake up. Just every time. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. It doesn't matter what season it is. I always have a runny nose. Regardless.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, nice.
So, I'll always have a runny nose. Every single time I'm on live. Unless I wake up at like 8 o'clock in the morning and live stream. But I just cannot keep a good sleep schedule for the life of me. Wow, my frame rate is the worst I've ever seen. I forgot to
At
separate
Elizabeth
them.
5611 says, so you kinda just woke up.
Yeah, pretty much. I woke up like an hour ago. Less than, actually. I woke up like 20 minutes ago. At like 1 p.m. or so.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, lucky.
Yeah. I kind of just don't go to school, which is not a thing to flex at all. That's not a good thing. It's mainly because of a mental problem I have. It's a crippling anxiety. I can't go to school. But I'm working on it. We're getting there.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, oh okay.
Yeah. I don't want to skip school, you know? It's just I can't not skip school. It's hard to explain. But years of therapy and well, you know, doing certain plans helped quite a bit. One day I'll go to school again. I hope. We're so close to the edge here. Oh my god! Bro, this lag is gonna be what kills me. Oh my god. It's gonna be what kills me right now. I am seeing 1 frame per
At
millennia
Elizabeth
right now.
5611 says, OMG.
Oh my god. Oh my god, my frame rate. Why is it so bad? Oh, I'm dead. Oh my god. How did I not get hit there? I swear I got hit. Must be my hooker that saved me. My frame rate! What is going on? Let's try this. Oh my god, if anything, that made it worse. Why
At
is my
Elizabeth
frame rate so bad?
5611 says, that was insane.
I barely avoided death, but at what cost? My frame rate. Oh my god. Surely you guys are seeing this too,
At
right?
Ghost Kitty Z6K says, I used to have runny nose.
What is going on with my frame rate right now?
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, a lot. At Elizabeth5611 says, yeah, it's really bad.
I have no clue what's going on with my frame rate right now. It's gotta be something running on my computer. It has to be. That's almost always the cause. Oh no. Oh no, what is going on? Well, I have one process open that I closed. Close this window here. I'm gonna open up
At
Task Manager.
Elizabeth5611 says, maybe it's the chat reader thing. At GhostKittyZ6K says, it lagging a lot.
Yeah, I know. I am opening up Task Manager to shut down any processes on my computer that I do not need for this live stream. This. This. Not much is opening. There's this. What? What do you mean I couldn't perform that task? It's Microsoft Edge. It's not important.
At Elizabeth5611 says, well, according to her computer it is.
Yep, that's for sure. Okay, I think I fixed the problem. Oh my god, that's so much better. Oh my god, that's 100 times better. Oh, that's silky smooth. See? That thing is so useful. Bruh. Oh, so I need to fix my thing here. Yay, yeah. I think it censored both of those because they're caps or a repetition. Let me see. Yeah. First one, the yay thing was all caps, and the second was repeated characters. This thing is so effective.
At Elizabeth5611 says, oh wow, that's rude of it.
It's not rude, it's just doing its
At
job.
GhostKittyZ6K
Oh
says,
my god.
how many lives you had?
How many lives have I done? Is that what you're asking me? Not many, that's all I know. When this music turns off, I'll turn on the live stream music. Because I keep forgetting to do that, and I think that's what was really bringing in people, is the constant
At
music.
Elizabeth5611 says, I'm not allowed to be excited apparently. At GhostKittyZ6K says, yeah.
You guys are allowed to be excited, just
At
not too crazy.
GhostKittyZ6K says,
That's almost 2 stacks, Jesus. Oh my god, this feels so much better. It's still a bit laggy, but it's so much better from what it was. Fudge. that's not gonna work. Now the hard part of making this good.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, OMG, I have my French speaking part of my final TMR and I'm so scared.
You have your French speaking part of your final tomorrow and you're so scared. I'm sure you'll do fine. Just speak French. just study French, I guess.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, poop ha 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 ha.
Oh no, Chai, he said poop. That's such a terrible word. No.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, I don't have time.
You don't have time to study? Well, time to make time.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, haha. At Elizabeth 5611 says, so Ghost can say that but I can say yay.
You can say yay, you just can't say it too excessively, yeah. Now let's make the wall part.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, no, I have other homework and I have dance tonight. At Elizabeth 5611 says, aw.
You have a dance? My school never did dances. I've never experienced that. It also depends on what kind of dance we're talking about.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, me of school.
What?
At Elizabeth 5611 says, no, like outside of school I have to go to dance.
Huh. That looks so cool. This is the coolest thing I've ever built in Minecraft. Well, that, other than like the ginormous castle I built in Bedrock Edition. It's really close to that though.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, me homeschool.
You're homeschooled?
At
I
Elizabeth
used to be
5611 says, it doesn't have anything to do with my school, it's like my sport.
Yeah, I understand that. I get that. Oh my god. I hate wasting glass like that.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, it cool smiling face with sunglasses. At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, oh. At Ace_Lols says, hi.
Hello Ace, welcome to the live.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, hi. Adelsabelink says, hello. Adelsabelink says, how are you?
My character's getting
At
hungry.
Ghost Kitty Z6K says, good.
My character's getting hungry, and it's craving chicken.
At Elizabeth5611 says, NOOO. At Stream Elements says, thanks for subscribing Ace Hugging Face.
Thank you so
At
much for
Ghost Kitty
subscribing,
Z6K says,
Ace.
no.
We finally reached 200. What a monumental time to be alive.
At Ace_Lol says, how do you get the Minecraft narrator to say the live chat though? At Elizabeth5611 says, OMG 200 subscribers is.
So, to answer your question, it's not even the Minecraft narrator, it's my website that I made. Being hosted on my computer because for some reason it's buggy on the website. But basically, I made a website that reads out the chat through API and a
At Ghost
YouTube
Kitty
link.
Z6K says, yay.
This is insane. I genuinely never thought I'd ever reach 200 subscribers. I was thinking maybe 100, maybe even 150 if I was lucky. 200 is insane. You guys made my day.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, 67 har har.
I was just
At
waiting for you guys to
Elizabeth5611
say
says,
that.
and you were live when it happened.
Yeah, I was. Let's see here. I remember every milestone. 50 subscribers, 100 subscribers, 150, 200. Every single one.
At Elizabeth5611 says, Ghost expressionless face.
Ghost? What?
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, me at 23 subs.
You'll get there. Just takes a lot of work.
At Lsabelink says, sorry for promoting my services. Do you have any plans to get custom stuff for the channel like logo banner overlays or maybe animated screens for starting BRB and ending soon?
What? Oh, I see. I'm good. Because I don't really want to do anything animated just yet. I already have my own custom banners and profile picture, as you could see. So I'm good with that. Thank you anyway. Besides, even if I wanted it, I wouldn't be able to afford it. Regardless of how much it was. Because I have $0 to my name, so. But thank you anyway. This is pretty much grown. It looks beautiful like this. I could also mine like all of it.
Adlsabelink says, okay. At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, Elizabeth expressionless face. At Elizabeth5611 says, you were the one that said 67 Subaru.
For real. Why did you say 67, bro?
At Ace_Lol says, I have Light Miner 2 beaming face with smiling eyes.
You have Light Miner too? How? What? What? What do you mean? Elaborate on that. Play some music.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, Suawi.
My chat is so random, bro. I say every live stream, or every time it's proven correct.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, what?
Why did you say you have Light Miner 2? Like as if you knew someone else had it. That was a bit weird.
You've got mail.
We have food! Let's go!
At Elizabeth5611 says, oh, you got more Missy.
7-Eleven. What?
At Elizabeth5611 says, mail asterisk.
Oh, you got more mail. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
At Elizabeth5611 says, OMG, I really can't type.
You just need to practice. Practice makes perfect. I don't have a use for these seeds, so I'm turning them into compost.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, yapping Elizabeth. At Elizabeth5611 says, OMG, I just typed too fast. At Elizabeth5611 says, Ghost, do you want to have beef?
Not much, and it takes a long time. That's fine. Buckle in, guys.
GhostKittyZ6K
This is
says,
gonna take a long
bro.
while.
At Elizabeth5611 says, I would suggest you be nice to me then BC, I already have beef with someone else on S different channel.
What? Are you guys fighting right now? I'm so confused.
At Elizabeth5611 says, A asterisk. At GhostKittyZ6K says, me 12. At Elizabeth5611 says, yes we are.
I never in a million years would expect my own chat to be fighting itself. But okay.
At Elizabeth5611 says, OMG, I'm fighting with a 12-year-old loudly crying face, loudly crying face. At GhostKittyZ6K says, no.
Whew. I need to mine more sand and smelt it. And I need a lot more, like, coal. I don't really need a shovel, it just kind of makes it quicker, and it doesn't take away my saturation. This does though, this takes away saturation.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, I mean yep, beaming face with smiling eyes, beaming face with smiling eyes, beaming face with smiling eyes.
I might have to make it so that if there's more than like 2 emojis in one message, it just doesn't say it.
At Elizabeth5611 says, I have fought with a 40-year-old man on someone's lib before, so I guess 12 isn't that bad.
Crazy.
At Elizabeth5611 says, don't ask why.
Full saturation. Crazy. That's a lot of sand. Ooh! I need to make an infinite lava source. That is something I need to do. I need dripstone though. Ow. And I need a bucket as well. Well, the bucket part can be done. It's just the dripstone. I don't know where he is. Right now I'm looking for coal
At Ghost
because I
Kitty
needed to
Z6K
smelt the
says,
sand. Bro said nothing.
At Elizabeth5611 says, have you named the chicken yet?
No. I'm asking you guys to name it. Donkey. Bruh. I swear, I need to, like, get an apple. I can never get an apple for the life of me. How rare is an apple? Well, I'm just getting nothing from this. Birch just
At
gives almost nothing.
Elizabeth5611 says, OMG, can we name it Lemon?
Lemon? Honestly? That's not a bad name. That's actually not the worst name I've heard.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, Fred.
Fred. I don't know. Lemon is actually a kind of cute name. I might choose Lemon.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, please. At Elizabeth5611 says, yeah, BC, it's yellow.
Alright, we'll name the chicken Lemon. It's settled. It's just adorable. Naming it.
At Elizabeth5611 says, yay.
Naming it Fred just seems a bit weird. I don't for a chicken. Lemon is more of an adorable name made for an animal. Fred is a human name. I thought he died for a second.
At Elizabeth5611 says, if we get another one we can name it Fred.
Maybe, yeah. We'll name the other one Fred. I need to get coal. I'm sure there's tons in this cave. I just really don't wanna.
At GhostKittyZ6K
Ooh, that was
says,
really
okay,
close.
pouting face, pouting face.
That was really close. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Did that just bounce off me? What? Why did that arrow bounce off me? You saw that, right? You could reverse the straight aim if you want, if you don't believe me. I swear that arrow bounced off my body.
At Elizabeth5611 says, I think it missed.
No, that straight up bounced off me. Hang on. I'm gonna reverse the stream. Hang on. I'm gonna go back in time a little bit, see it. Okay, this is where it happened. Yeah, that arrow just straight up bounced off my body. Crazy. Is that an Enderman? Oh, yes it is. Oh my god. Yeah, that zombie's not gonna get me. I didn't come prepared enough. Okay, I need to leave. You need to leave. I don't even think he dropped a pearl. Upsetting. Ooh, yeah, we need to get like a, we need to also get a name tag for Lemon. So that, you know, we can actually name him Lemon. Oh my god! Bro was camping the corner!
At GhostKittyZ6K says, can you get a cat please, smiling cat face with heart eyes.
Can I get a cat? Yeah, I'll get a cat. First I need to find one though. And I need to have fish on me. But I'll definitely get a cat. I'll get every animal in the game. And we'll name them each a different name.
At Elizabeth5611 says, ya 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 ya. At GhostKittyZ6K says, Fred.
We're gonna name the cat Fred. Let's see here.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, yes.
I have an idea.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, no.
I'm gonna take this seed.
At Elizabeth5611 says, oh I forgot it is sensitive to all caps.
Yes. I might turn that off. It doesn't change anything, I'm pretty sure. I might turn that off. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, Kitty.
Drop all caps spam. There. I turned it off.
At Elizabeth5611 says, it makes it harder for me to yell loudly crying face.
Regardless, I turned it off. Alright, now I'm going to open up a thing that will tell me where the structures are so I can get a name tag for this chicken. Because I know dang well I ain't searching for it manually.
At Elizabeth5611 says, you should go back and read my comment that was in all caps.
I
At
saw
Swiss
it.
Aviation
No,
11
that's
says,
what I meant, cousin.
hello. At Elizabeth5611 says, it was very important.
Swiss.
At Elizabeth5611 says, Swiss.
Hello, Swiss. Oh my god, I remember you. Welcome back. I didn't think you'd come back. Alright. -6.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, hello.
Alright. And then switch it to Java Edition, if possible.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, hi.
Oh god, I forget what version this is. What version am I on?
At Elizabeth5611 says, hi Swiss.
26.1.2. I guess this is close enough.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, sup Swiss.
And then I need to type in my coordinates. Let's see here. My X is 255.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, sup.
Hello. Welcome to the live. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of structures around me. Buried treasure is quite far though. Alright, let's go treasure hunting. I'm gonna make a shovel. And we're gonna go treasure hunting! And hopefully find what I'm looking for. Alright, I'm gonna show it. Let's see if my text-to-speech thing will not say it. It shouldn't.
At Elizabeth5611 says, find a mobile spawner.
A mobile spawner? What? A mob spawner.
At Elizabeth5611 says, mob asterisk. At Elizabeth5611 says, they have them too if there is one closer.
So I need to go to 313 -647. I don't want to do it at night, but I mean, I really don't want to sleep again. Not yet, anyway. God, that takes so much longer to kill with a stone sword. They have them too if there is one closer. Ow. I don't know why there's so many spiders. Ooh.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, do you play on hardcore? I do.
F3 and 3 should show my frame rate.
At
No.
Elizabeth5611 says, yeah, this is.
Oh, that's not what I want to look at.
At
yeah,
Elizabeth5611 says,
it's
Ghost.
not hardcore, bro. I think you should know that. Oh, my frame rate. My frames.
At
What is going
SwissAviation11
on?
says, bro.
What just happened to my frame rate? That was so weird.
At Elizabeth5611 says, this one is. At
Wow, there is an
GhostKittyZ6K says,
insane amount
R.
of mobs here.
At Elizabeth5611 says, I swear you said this one was.
No, it is easily not. Ow.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, nope.
That was way too much work. Okay. This Enderman's just watching me kill the zombies.
At Elizabeth5611 says, OMB.
So according to my current knowledge, right here should be some buried treasure. Hey! Look at what we got. We got some iron, some gold. Not very useful, but it's okay.
At
Water,
GhostKittyZ6K says, MB.
My bad.
At Elizabeth5611 says, my bad.
What the hell do you want, bro? Hang on, I'm gonna actually... Ow! I just wanted to kill this Enderman, and now this stupid skeleton's stopping me from doing that.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, smiley face.
Oh my god, that was close. He's already got a block in his hand, so he can't take it. Oh yeah, I'm not doing that. Wow, these guys just refuse to drop things. That's me. Alright, let's drop this.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, I_I.
You guys are telling some different emoji.
At Elizabeth5611 says, the noise they make is kinda creepy but also funny. At SwissAviation11 says, bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, the Enderman noise is kind of funny. As a kid, I remember being horrified by them. I'd try to avoid them at all costs. There's another one at like 1,000 in the negatives. Several hundred blocks away.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, I'm still scared of them. At
Why?
Ghost Kitty Z6K says, not me, smiley face. At Elizabeth 5611 says, the noise is just funny. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, yeah.
I think after stream, I might host an event for my SMP. I just need to figure some things out. I also have no clue how long I've been live for. Let's check. Oh.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, my internet is so bad.
Maybe one day I'll get better internet. We'll see. Ooh, a chicken.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, same. At Elizabeth 5611 says, I don't think it's just you Swiss.
Why did I have a scute? What the hell? Okay, so negative 39.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, no, not Lemon's family again.
Look, I had to do it, bro. His genetics were too far different from the rest. It needed to be put down. I'm sorry. I was gonna have a miserable life. It was too far mutated. Now that I think about that, that kind of sounded racist. Oh well.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, do you guys play Gorilla Tag is my favorite. At Elizabeth 5611 says, it was just special. At Elizabeth 5611 says, no, I've never played it.
I've never played
At
Gorilla
Swiss
Tag.
Aviation 11 says, nah.
I've never played Gorilla Tag because I don't have a VR headset. So right here should be buried treasure. If I'm right. Hey! Let's go! Still no real, like, name tag. Not good.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, yeah, what if it was albino and you just killed it and then made fun of it?
I'm sure it's fine.
At Ghost Kitty
You guys, I
Z6K
didn't kill
says,
any chicken.
is on VR.
Alright,
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, what do you try to find?
what do you try to find? I'm trying to find a I'm
At
trying to find.
Elizabeth5611 says, a name tag for lemon.
Yes. I'm trying to find a name tag for Lemon the chicken.
At Elizabeth5611 says, OMG, is it just me or is it so laggy?
Oh, yeah, it's not just you. I don't know
At
what's going
Swiss
on.
Aviation 11 says, nah, it's not just you. At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, yeah.
I have no clue what's going on. It might clear up soon.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, Frad.
Right. Wait. I have an idea. I'm gonna make an armadillo and name him Fred. Or not, I'm not gonna make. I'm gonna kidnap an armadillo and name it Fred. And the way I'm gonna do it is using a lead, because I have leads.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, Fred, I meant.
You said Fred, you just didn't include capitalization. Which is fine. Not many people do these days.
At Elizabeth5611 says, OMG, I love them.
What, the armadillos? I don't know. I don't really like armadillos that
At
much. They're kinda
Elizabeth5611
ugly,
says,
in my opinion.
OMG, a dog.
Oh, the dog. Yeah, I didn't have a
At
bone. I was
Ghost
gonna
Kitty
tame one,
Z6K says, okay.
but I didn't have bones on me.
At Elizabeth5611 says, yeah, I don't know how to spell it.
We're gonna need so many name tags, and I don't think you can craft them. You have to find them, I think. If you can craft them, they require slime for sure, definitely. I could cheat. I could cheat and just give myself them. Should I do that? Just
At
open
Swiss
them.
Aviation 11 says, I would leave it to have slots in Minecraft.
What? I'm having trouble understanding what that was supposed to mean.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, lagging so bad.
I know, I have no clue what's going on with the live stream right now. I see perfectly fine. Hang on.
At
Let me
Swiss Aviation 11 says, JA.
let me see if I can fix it.
At Elizabeth5611 says, don't cheat.
Alright, I think I made it catch up, maybe. I don't know. I think the only real way to make it catch up is like restarting the stream, and I don't want to do that.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, sorry, my language is set to German.
What?
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, okay. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, so it changes words the entire time.
That was a lot of coal, but enough. There's more. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's more. It's like up here.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, because of autocorrect.
Hmm.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, I hate autocorrect more than I actually like it.
Don't we all? That's the most random sentence I've ever heard. I don't like it more than I actually like it. What does that mean? What? You could have just said I don't like it that way.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, oh.
Yeah.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, OMG stop bullying me loudly crying face.
I'm not bullying
At Swiss
you.
Aviation 11 says, yeah it just sucks and if you tip something wrong then it doesn't correct it. At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, me back.
Me back.
At Elizabeth
Okay.
5611 says, I meant like I like it when it does what I want but most of the time I hate it.
Ah, okay, that makes more sense.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, that sentence was not bad.
Oh dear God. Back in my day, people knew how to spell.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, Thai Swiss.
The
At
F3
Ghost Kitty
UI
Z6K
covers my
says,
entire screen.
I like it.
Ooh, a village. Ah!
At Elizabeth 5611 says, that's not nice loudly crying face.
What is going on with the lag?
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, cat.
Oh yeah, cat. I can finally get a cat now. Oh, but I think the fish has to be like uncooked. This is all cooked stuff. I have to go fishing. Good thing I have string for a fishing rod.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, it's laggy. At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, cat. At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, cat. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, I love Swiss German because we don't have a correct way of writing so a
Whoa, I
word
don't
can be
like
written
that.
different.
Okay.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, kidnap the cat.
Kidnap the cat. Crazy. I need to empty my entire inventory. I don't think there is a cat. I can't see one. There's usually at least one, though. Somewhere. Every village comes with a cat, pretty much, I feel.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, kitty. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, not kidnap, catnap. At Elizabeth
What is this guy doing
5611
here?
says, well German words are like unnecessary long so it makes sense that there isn't a correct way to spell it.
I can't kill that guy. If I kill him, this village gets raided. I can't kill that guy. I just gotta let him follow me home, I guess.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, German has a very strict rules but Swiss German doesn't.
I've never seen one of those guys inside a village before.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, oh, I didn't realize they were different.
I forgot, they
At
follow you
Elizabeth
for as far
5611
as you
says, my bad.
go. Wait, I have an idea.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, trapped him.
Ah, fuck. I gotta push him closer in here. Oh my god. Even closer. There we go.
At Elizabeth 5611 says,
No,
why is it so
get
fast
back in
though?
the home. I don't know, they just seem to be really
At
fast.
Swiss Aviation 11 says, Swiss German is spoken in Switzerland and German in Germany.
Oh my god. Such a pain. Oh my god.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, oh okay.
You're becoming a prisoner of war. Get inside the box. Good boy. Stay there. Crazy. I just called a pillager a good boy. That's insane. Alright. I need to get home. Too far in this one direction. I need to go this way. Good boy is crazy. Hang
At
on
Ghost
a
Kitty
second.
Z6K says, cat. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, and the funny thing is that we Swiss understand German and Swiss German but German people sometimes doesn't understand Swiss German.
That was an entire mouthful that I do not understand.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, haha. At Elizabeth 5611 says, lol that's funny.
Good luck saying that 5 times
5611
fast.
says, Ghost I don't think we're getting a cat RN. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, and we have a famous word. At Elizabeth 5611 says, it's okay well understand. At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, sad face.
Negative 814.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, which only Swiss peoples can pronounce correctly.
The hell was that noise?
At Elizabeth 5611 says, what is it?
Ew, I don't like the sounds the pigs make. Ugh. Ugh. Gross.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, Shuchachasli. At Elizabeth 5611 says, WTH.
The hell? What the hell is this generation? What? Weird. I remember that. I'm getting close.
At Elizabeth5611 says, did it say it right? At Swiss Aviation 11 says, nah. At Elizabeth5611 says, LOL.
Yeah, I think you guys should just start getting used to it not saying things from different languages correctly, okay? It's not bilingual, okay? It's not gonna get it. Maybe one day I'll update it to understand other languages, but for now, it's purely English. Or maybe one day I'll make it translate it and say it from English, because that way it's better. But for now.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, Shuchachasli. At Elizabeth5611 says, it should be.
Let me check something real quick. We went from 200 to 199. What happened? What happened to my subscribers? That's upsetting.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, it's a kitchen cabinet. At Elizabeth5611 says, who unsubscribed?
For real, bro. Who unsubscribed? How could you ever unsubscribe from me?
At Elizabeth5611 says, that's what that word mean.
I will find whoever unsubscribed, and I will do nothing to them. Because I can't.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, I have no idea and I agree Woe would do that. At Elizabeth5611 says, that's not fun though.
Let me check how long I've been live for.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, it's a kitchen cabinet. Why?
What's strange is the fact that I've been live for about an hour and 49 minutes.
At
But
GhostKittyZ6K says,
my
not
thing
me.
is still working.
At Elizabeth5611 says, almost 2 hours I think.
Yeah, we're creeping up on 2 hours now. We're like an hour and 49 minutes in, and the text-to-speech is still working, to my much surprise. I genuinely have no clue how that's the case, because last time it ended at an hour and 45 minutes. So, this is weird. I wonder if the Enderman will know if I look at it.
At Elizabeth5611 says, I have to do homework but I don't want to. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, we now have a short holiday. At GhostKittyZ6K says, yay.
My
At Swiss
frame
Aviation
rate.
11 says, holiday.
Oh, my frames. I swear I mined more than one coal from that entire
At
vein.
GhostKittyZ6K says, I know.
What happened to all of the coal? Sigh. Alright. Water breathing. I gotta make more chests. Let's do this and make a
At Elizabeth
dedicated chest
5611
room.
says, it's hiding from you. At Elizabeth 5611 says, it knows what's gonna happen to it.
There we go. Bruh.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, agree.
What? I have no clue what you're talking about, guys.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, isn't it cheating?
What is cheating?
At Elizabeth 5611 says, the coal.
What do you mean? Why is there so much coal?
At Elizabeth 5611 says, it's hiding from you BC, it doesn't want to be used.
Oh,
At
now I
Elizabeth
know what you're talking about.
5611 says, OMG.
There's so much coal. 19 here. I guess I can say goodbye to all of that coal. 1 here. 3 here. This feels staged. What the hell? Oh, that's a lot of coal.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, guys, should I do my HW now or should I save it for after dance?
You should do it now. It's better to get it done than later, because then you'll feel like your own butler, I guess. That's how to explain. You'll feel better when you know you don't have to do it later.
At Elizabeth
if you do it now.
5611 says, aw. At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, to break the coal ease.
Let's make...
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, what do you need to do for homework? At Elizabeth 5611 says, math and history. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, I love history.
Ew.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, it's Regents review for math and a project for history. At Elizabeth 5611 says, I'm so bad at history LOL. At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, you can watch while you do school.
Yeah, I guess they could. I don't know how good that would be.
At
But...
Elizabeth 5611 says, the thing is I don't want to do it. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, yeah.
Oh, that's simple. Just
At
want to do it.
GhostKittyZ6K says, same.
It's simple. Just
At
want to do it. And then you'll
Elizabeth5611
want to do
says, I'm not good at multitasking lol.
it. You can just listen to my live stream. That works too. You don't have to watch.
At SwissAviation11 says, just do it and it will be over.
For real. I keep forgetting to turn on the music. I'm such an idiot.
At Elizabeth5611 says, oh that's great advice thanks.
You're welcome, bro. I know my advice can be very useful. It helps many people. World class knowledge here. Beautiful information.
At Elizabeth5611 says, no because if I hear something's happening then I'm gonna want to watch it.
I'm on beat with the music, bro.
At Elizabeth5611 says, OMG that was satisfying.
There. Oh wait,
At
no.
SwissAviation11 says, to the beat placing.
For real. I love
At
doing that.
Elizabeth5611
It's so
says,
satisfying to do.
I love that for some reason.
Yeah, me too, which is why I always do it. Wow! That is a lot of coal. Oh my god! It's so much, it broke my pickaxe.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, har har har. At Elizabeth5611 says, oh my. At SwissAviation11 says, what is White 711?
That was a vein of 62 coal. What? Insane! That is what you would... That is the definition of insanity. What?
At SwissAviation11 says, I don't understand.
There will be many things you don't understand in life. You just gotta get used to it.
At Elizabeth5611 says, you should make stone so you can replace the cobblestone. At GhostKittyZ6K says, how?
You don't understand how? How there was a 62 vein of coal?
At GhostKittyZ6K says, I can't believe you. At Elizabeth5611 says, yeah like life itself is very confusing. At SwissAviation11 says, yeah.
We have the most
At
important of
SwissAviation11
conversations
says,
on this channel.
like what is the meaning of live?
Let's not get that existential.
At Elizabeth5611 says, FRR.
I will fear the day Enderman can know when you're looking at them through glass.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, I like turtles.
I like turtles.
At Elizabeth5611 says, Ghost OMG. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, that was too random. At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, what?
We wouldn't live up to the random chat
At
name if we weren't
Elizabeth5611
random
says,
here.
OMG, why was that so good?
What? Oh, the I like turtle thing I did? Yeah. I don't know about that, but if you think so, then cool.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, yes.
I think the music's repeating over each other. That's not good. It's whatever. This looks
At
so
Ghost
cool.
Kitty Z6K says, you need to put some torches up.
I know, I should do that. Let's do it. Let's put one here. One here.
At Elizabeth5611 says, apparently there is a song made from the I like turtles meme and it's really funny.
Is there? Maybe I'll have to check it out sometime. There's more coal. 16. My god.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, oh. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, we have a famous German meme which also got a whole song.
This looks so cool.
At Elizabeth5611 says, what is it? At Ghost
There's no
Kitty
way that's
Z6K
cool.
says,
What?
cool smiling face with sunglasses.
Oh my god, a 42 vein of coal. I cannot make this up. The world's paying me back for the coal I lost. I have no clue what that means.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, Ricky ich hab seat du Solsteig.
What?
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, what about the armadillo? At Swiss Aviation 11 says, Jew.
What? Oh, J-O-O.
At Elizabeth5611 says, I'm not even gonna try to say that. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, yeah.
I have an idea. Does this work or do I need... Oh, I need... 3... Not 3. Whatever.
At Elizabeth5611 says, oh yay the armadillo.
What do you mean? My chat is too random, bro. Oh my god! This is so annoying.
At Ghost Kitty Z6K says, what is your picture Swiss? At Elizabeth5611 says, Fred the Armadillo. At GhostKittyZ6K says, is it a bird?
Is
At
it a plane?
Elizabeth5611
No,
says,
it's my
a
grandma.
plane. At GhostKittyZ6K says, Fred. At SwissAviation11 says, it's Airbus Beluga with a Santa Claus cape.
What? Why did I just hear Airbus with a Santa Claus cape? What?
At GhostKittyZ6K says, oh.
My chat is too random, bro. I feel like I'm hallucinating things at this point. Okay. One for you.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, Lang. At
You.
Elizabeth5611 says,
One for
that's
you.
what Swiss's profile pic is.
One for you. One for you. One for you. And one for you. Oh, it is.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, Lang.
Lame. I am genuinely surprised this text-to speech is lasting this long.
At Elizabeth5611 says, I still haven't started my HW yet hee.
You should probably do that if you don't want to make yourself more stressed in the future. Set like a 5-minute timer.
At SwissAviation11 says,
Tell
when is
yourself
it
to
due?
do like 5 specific things in that 5-minute timeline.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, hee.
Why are you saying he? You just sound like a cartoon girl.
At Elizabeth5611 says, the history is due tonight and math is due TMR in class. At SwissAviation11 says, oh wait, I forgot that we have a time gap.
Yeah.
At
everyone has a time.
Elizabeth5611 says, he'll prob just end up doing it after I shower tonight. At Elizabeth5611 says, yeah lol.
A shower? What's that?
At Elizabeth5611 says, OMG. At GhostKittyZ6K says, uh-huh. At
Minecraft music
SwissAviation11 says,
is just
I never
absolute
heard of
sin.
such a thing. At GhostKittyZ6K says, what? At Elizabeth5611 says, Sorry, I forgot, not many people know what those are. At GhostKittyZ6K says, who you talking to, Swiss? At Elizabeth5611 says, OMG, my watch just told me to move.
You have a watch that tells you to move around?
At Elizabeth5611 says, I've been sitting in the same position for almost an hour. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, because of the shower.
I didn't think my streams would be that interesting that you wouldn't move for hours on end.
At Elizabeth5611 says, yeah, my watch yells at me if I don't move for almost an hour. At GhostKittyZ6K says, I do that for half of the day. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, why does it say that we only have one viewer?
I have no clue. That's super weird. We're almost at 5 likes. And we're super close to 200 subscribers. We just need 1 subscriber and 1 like.
At Elizabeth5611 says, well, that's not great, Ghost. At GhostKittyZ6K says, I don't know. At GhostKittyZ6K says, where are we at 5 likes?
Why are we at 5 likes? We're not. We're at 4 right now.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, me too, in school we sit the entire day.
Your watch must yell at you all the time.
At GhostKittyZ6K says, I know. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, now we have 6. At Elizabeth5611 says, OMG, at least I move in school.
Oh my god, this music is fire. The best music in the world is Minecraft
At
music
Swiss Aviation
and
11
music
says,
made by Toby
I don't
Fox.
have a watch.
This land is going to be unrecognizable.
At Elizabeth5611 says, that's why I hated elementary school, because I hated sitting for the entire day.
Me too. But at least you know, got to move around every hour or so. Every hour and a half. So, between classes.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, I'm in the Secondarstufe, I don't know what that means in English. At Elizabeth5611 says, yeah, my classes are only 40 minutes, so it's a lot better. At Elizabeth5611 says, better asterisk. At Elizabeth5611 says, OMG, I give up typing.
Just use like speech to text or something. Should I just cheat and get the name tag for Lemon? Because I don't think we're ever gonna get a name tag for him.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, that's weird though BC it's silent in my house. At Elizabeth 5611 says, no.
No? Alright.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, what? At Elizabeth 5611 says, find a mob spawner.
Why do we need a mob spawner though? I mean, I guess they spawn in them, but
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, yeah.
they're kinda dangerous.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, I always find one in there.
Alright, fine. I'll look for a mob spawner. Just give me a second.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, yay.
There's a zombie spawner not too far from my base, actually. I guess I'll head there. My shield is low.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, or find a desert temple.
I'll just go to a possible dungeon. A zombie one.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, bro why is the stream delayed so much?
I
At
have
Elizabeth
no
5611
clue.
says, oh yeah.
Just gonna dig straight into a zombie dungeon. Oh, that's a bit far. And I have to go this way. This is about the position.
At
right here.
Elizabeth 5611 says, that's the best thing you could ever do LOL. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, is it just me?
So we gotta go to -871 here.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, just go off of the lid for a second it's done.
I'm sure it's fine. I don't need to get off alive. Would a 64 block fall kill me? I assume yes. So I'm
At
not gonna
Swiss Aviation 11 says, I tried that many cause of the distance. At Elizabeth 5611 says, MO I meant Swiss. At Elizabeth 5611 says, UMM definitely not. At Swiss Aviation 11 says, or because of my bad connection. At Elizabeth 5611 says, I think you will be perfect like fine. At Elizabeth 5611 says, it might be that.
get better internet. We're creeping up on it now.
At Swiss Aviation 11 says, cause I live in a little village. At Elizabeth 5611 says, wow, you just have the best advice.
I know, bro. I know. I have the world's best advice. I get that a lot. Oh my god. I was spot on it. Dead center. Ow. Okay. Name tag. Ooh, music disc. More coal. This server just has an abundance of coal. Name tag!
At Swiss
Let's
Aviation
go.
11 says, agree.
And there should be a skeleton spawner as well nearby. A bit deeper.
At Elizabeth 5611 says, I told you. At Elizabeth 5611 says,
Yes, you did. There's a spawner for skeletons over this way, a little bit deeper. We're gonna head there and also get that
At Swiss
one,
Aviation
actually.
11 says, let's go.
Ooh, iron. Don't mind if I do.
At Cody Newman S10 says, bro said skeletons, spooky, scary skeletons and sugars down in your spine.
Funny. Alright, I should jump right into a
At Swiss
skeleton
Aviation
spawner
11
here.
says, what?
Right here.
System says, YouTube live chat ended, polling stopped.
No! Guys, I'm gonna have to end the live stream here. Because the Texas speech just stopped now. Oh, that hurt. Am I at the right place? I'm not even at the right place. I need to go this way. I'm gonna have to end the live stream here, guys, because the text-to-speech is finished working now. No, this is the wrong way. Hey, look, we all found lost media, but it's problematic media. What? That's not gonna mine. Anyway, am I gonna waste? Not good. It's right there too. What do I do? I guess I have to just go home. That's unfortunate. It ended. Dude, why do you turn the thing off? Or like, says what we typed. It end. That's why he has to end. Yeah. It only lasts for a certain amount of time, and today it lasted a lot longer than usual, sadly. Yeah, it did. It lasted a lot longer, which I'm happy about, but it's upsetting that I can only do it for a limited amount of time. I can request to Google for like more, for like 100 times more, but the issue with that is, well, forget. Oh yeah, I kind of need a reason, and saying, oh, for it's for my live stream is not quite a reason, according to, you know, Google and stuff. So, oh my god, that spawned a lot quicker than I wanted it to. Now we just dig up. Or not dig up, but build up. Hang on. At least we got a name tag for Lemon. Yeah, L. What the hell is that? Yeah, I'm gonna head home, and then I'm gonna end the live stream here. We finally got 6 likes. So that's nice. Next live stream, we're gonna focus on getting an anvil. So we can, you know, actually use the name tag on Lemon. What the hell is that? Are we gonna name Lemon tomorrow? Oh, yay. Yes, we're gonna name Lemon tomorrow. Remember, I have a schedule set for like 4 more days of live streaming straight. So if you guys are confused as to when I'm gonna go live, just look on my channel, you'll easily see when. Ooh. Okay, yeah, we got a lot of work tomorrow. This is good. This means we can pick right off from where we left off. And have a lot of fun. Let's take what we need. And I guess this too. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm very glad that you all showed up and that this text-to-speech works very well. And that it lasted a lot longer. We got like 2 hours worth of streaming. Did you ever play Roblox? Yes, I've played Roblox. I actually recorded a couple of videos of Roblox. But I haven't recorded anything yet. Time to go do homework. Yeah. Bye everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow.